Hello everyone, I am Sonali Mate and I welcome you all for the session of Engineering Materials and Metallurgy. So, we'll be discussing now unit number 6, that is non-ferrous materials. So, in my today's video, we'll study classification of non-ferrous alloys. The learning outcome is student will be able to understand the various types of non-ferrous alloys. So, let's understand what is non-ferrous alloys. Basically, we know alloys are classified into two, that is ferrous and non-ferrous alloys. So ferrous alloys are iron based, so they have iron as a base material, whereas non-ferrous alloys do not have iron content. There is no iron content in it. So ferrous alloys, as it is having iron, it is magnetic in nature, and non-ferrous alloys are non-magnetic in nature. So talking about ferrous alloys, steel, cast iron, this all comes under ferrous alloys, whereas copper, brass, aluminium, zinc, this comes under non-ferrous alloys. So now talking about steel and ferrous alloys, they are widely used just because they have good mechanical property. High ductility, they can be easily machinable. It means they are easy to fabricate. Then they are economical. Cost required for manufacturing of ferrous alloys is comparatively less. Also, they have some limitations like they have relatively high density. They have high density than the non-ferrous alloys. Then low electrical conductivity and less corrosion resistance. So these three limitations leads to use of non-ferrous alloys. They are used just because they have low weight, low density, good electrical conductivity, hence they are widely used in electrical appliances, high corrosion resistance and non-magnetic property. These are the important points. Then again their limitation is they are expensive and they are difficult to fabricate. Now talking about classification of non-ferrous alloys, first is copper and its alloys. Second, aluminium and its alloys, and next is zinc and its alloys. So first we'll see copper and its alloys. First is FCC structure. It has FCC structure, that is phase cubic center structure. They are soft, ductile, and also they are difficult to machine. They can be cold work. So these are the properties. It have good corrosion resistance, high electrical and thermal conductivity. We have seen that many of the wires are made. We have seen that the wires are made up of copper, electrical wires. Then its appearance is reddish in color and it is non-magnetic as it is a property of non-ferrous. Antibacterial, it is also one of the property of copper and its alloys. Easily joined by brazing and soldering. So these are the joining process, brazing and soldering. So by using this two, the copper material can be easily joined. Next is low strength to weight ratio than aluminium and magnesium alloys and better resistance to fatigue, creep and wear than aluminium and magnesium alloys. So these 2 points are based on comparison with aluminium and magnesium alloys. Low strength to weight ratio and better fatigue resistance. Then usual alloying elements which are added in copper are zinc, aluminium, silicon, nickel, magnesium, manganese, etc. Now let's see what are copper alloys. So first is brass, copper and zinc alloy. It is nothing but the alloy of copper and zinc. So next, bronze. It is the alloy of copper and tin. And the last one is copper nickel alloy. So here you can see the appearance is different for each and every one. Here it is somewhat yellowish, here it is reddish, and here it is having silver color almost. So brass, bronze, copper, nickel alloys are the main copper alloys. So in my upcoming videos, we'll be discussing more in detail about this copper alloys and various other alloys. Thank you. For any queries, you can contact me on my email ID. And if you have liked my video, kindly like, share and subscribe.